So hi and welcome to the Data Explorers Market Update. It's my third video related thing today, and because I don't have a sort of power laundry in the office, I'm afraid those of you who are very observant might be able to notice the different things we've been doing today. But let's talk about Asia and Japan, because a kind of global hedge fund manager rang me this week to sort of say, you know, he's worried about missing out on a sort of a sector or a country rotation into Japan. Japan has been an area where investors have not been too excited to invest over a number of years, but you know, the Nikkei 225 is up nearly 3% this year, and you know, could this be the time that Japan comes back? Anyway, people don't want to miss that if money starts going into these solid Japanese big manufacturing and car companies. So we had a quick look at Japan, and on a sort of macro level, looking at our long-short ratio, there's a little bit more short selling in Japan than there was a year ago. There's 10 times as much supply as there is stock on loan, compared to 11 times this time in 2010. However, that's only a small increase, and some big shorts like Resona Holdings, that's kind of completely come down. So if we look at it on a sort of sector by sector basis for sort of positive and negative sentiment, we can see that in the autos and components sector, there's definitely more negative sentiment than positive. But before you think that Toyota and Nissan and the super brilliant car manufacturers are being shorted, it's not that. It's more of the kind of the components makers, companies like Yorozu, Akebono, Sanden and TBK are the ones that are seeing a rise in short selling recently. The sort of commonality here is two of these, TBK and Akebono, sort of are brakes manufacturers. So I wonder whether there's maybe what's going on in that. Why are the brakes manufacturers in trouble? I don't know. Maybe there's a bit of new technology that's going to basically make their life difficult. Elsewhere in Asia, in Hong Kong, the Great Wall Motor Company Limited has got about 2% of its shares being borrowed, and that's rising. So it's not just in Japan. If we look over at, say, another Japanese sector with a bit of negative sentiment, you've then got the sort of household sector, and there's a company called Unihair, who I've joked in my report has a receding profits. Their short interest has recently gone up quite a lot, and they make wigs and toupees and such like. Over in Taiwan, a couple of airlines seeing rising short interest recently. Eva Airlines and China Airlines, or sorry, Eva Air and China Airlines. So worth watching that. But in Japan, the big All Nippon Airways is the one that's seeing significant build-up in negative sentiment and short selling. Finally, Tencent, which has been a sort of darling of the Hong Kong stock market because it sells kind of mobile internet usage and email. It's of the AOL of yesteryear, but it's a sort of hardcore, very good company. Anthony Bolton owns it. It's been doing brilliantly in Hong Kong. Actually, seemingly run out of steam as some short sellers have increased. It's now 2.5% short, so watch out for Tencent. So that is sort of a bit of a random roam around Asia, particularly Japan. If you'd like to read the report, it is at dataexplorers.com/news.